Hey guys, I'm Naley Gonzalez and today is Halloween. If you're like myself and some of my friends, you're probably looking for ways to keep the spooky holiday going, which is why I'm sharing 7 books to read for Halloween that aren't Harry Potter or Stephen King or Twilight. As a heads up, these aren't in any particular order and vary in audience, but I found them enjoyable and I hope you do too. First on the list is The Beasties by William Sleater. I read this in middle school and it terrified the hell out of me. Doug and his family moved to the desolate northern woods, and soon he and his sister Colette find themselves in the middle of a war between the local loggers and a dying race of woodland creatures who depend on human body parts to survive. Creeped out yet? No? It's okay. I'm just getting started. Eventually, Colette is indoctrinized into the society known as the Family, an underground civilization of slimy, pale beings with crudely stitched together body parts. Doug wants nothing more than to remain an outsider, but he'll quickly learn he doesn't have a choice. If he tries to escape, he'll face an awful truth. Hopefully you can still handle cave diving, tunnels, or even the woods after this read. Next up is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, written by Ransom Riggs. I'm pretty sure this was my first ebook and was well worth the read. A horrific family tragedy sends 16-year-old Jacob on a journey to a remote island off the coast of Wales. There, he discovers the ruins for Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Jacob explores the abandoned building and discovers the children were more than just peculiar. They could have been dangerous. It was possible that they were quarantined on the island for good reason, and somehow, as impossible as it may seem, they may still be alive. The monsters and the peculiar children in this story are not only well developed, but borderline eerie. Riggs not only brings his characters to life with his writing, but also with the realistic and stunning photographs he creates. Following Miss Peregrines is Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare Blake. I'm a fan of Supernatural, and Blake's novel reminded me of the show all the way through. Well, aside from the gore-filled murder, Cass, hint hint, Lowood, inherited an unusual calling. He kills the dead. Armed with his late father's mysterious and deadly athame, Cass travels the country with his kitchen witch mom and their spirit-sniffing cat. Following legends and local lore, they destroy the murderous dead and keep pesky things like the future and friends away. Cass expects the usual: track, hunt, kill. Instead, he finds a ghost like he's never faced before. Since her death, Anna kills any and every person who dares to step foot in her deserted home, except she spares Cass. While not heavily graphic, the death scenes are pretty intense, so I don't recommend this to those who are squeamish. Fourth on the list is Swoon by Nina Malikin. If you're looking for a little bit of romance with ghost possession, you found it! When Candace's cousin Penelope nearly dies from a fall from an old tree, her spirit intertwines with that of a ghost. Sinclair Youngblood Powers is out for revenge, and while Penn is oblivious to the possession, Dice is all too aware of Sin. What a name, huh? In an effort to exorcise the demon, Dice accidentally sets Sin loose, gives him flesh, and makes him formidable. Now she must defeat an even stronger adversary before the whole town succumbs to Sin's will. Only problem is, she's in love with him. What a plot twist. It's always a tough time when a hot vengeful ghost possesses your fam. Fifth is Dead Until Dark by Charlaine Harris. I fell into the True Blood phase and I have no regrets. Sookie Stackhouse is a waitress in a small town in Louisiana until the vampire of her dreams walks into her life and a co-worker checks out. As Sookie soon learns, having a vampire for a boyfriend isn't that great of an idea. While there's a whole shebang of vampires and eventual werewolves, there are a lot of monsters from various lores that join the book and series, which leads to an overall fun read. If you're like me and are a kid at heart, or even have kids, you may recognize this next title, Monster High by Lacey Harrison. I was obsessed with the dolls when they came out, and when I learned that there was a novel coming out, I had to read it. Created just 15 days ago, Frankie Stein is thrilled to trade in her father's formaldehyde-smelling basement lab for parties and cheerleading, but with a student body totally freaked out by rumors of monsters who might be stalking the halls, Frankie finds that life in the normie world might be rough for a chic freak like her. She thinks she finds a friend and fellow new student Melody Carver, but can a normie be trusted with her secret? Lacey Harrison is popular for writing the Click series, and Monster High is just as great. While this may be a book for the younger crowd, I love the perspective of teen monsters trying to live normal lives without persecution, and it's fun recognizing monsters from different lores. Last is The Darkest Night by Gina Showalter. I'm sure about most of the books that I listed are for young adults, but this one is for a more mature crowd, as it is pretty sensual. Tormented by voices from the past, Ashlyn Darrow travels to Budapest, seeking help from men rumored to have supernatural abilities. Cursed with individual demons and long forgotten by the gods, Maddox and his fellow damned do all they can to avoid outsiders. Upon arrival, Ashlyn is swept into the arms of Maddox, their most dangerous member, a man trapped in a literal hell of his own. If you're not into romance and tortured souls, I understand. You now have 7 books to drag out Halloween, even if just by a little bit. And none were Harry Potter. Though, if you still want to read Harry Potter, go for it. Do you have more titles that'll help Halloween last longer? Share in the comments. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on social media at NaleyGonzalez. Thanks so much for watching and happy Halloween. Until next time.